We're getting pretty close to the release of Captain America Brave New World. It comes out February 14th, and that's going to be a 4-day weekend because you have Valentine's Day, President's Day. So Friday through Monday is going to be about 100 million, they're saying. Now, we have predictions of 86 to 95 million. But that's not the real story. The real story is that you have people that do this for a living that are predicting that the movie is going to end its run between 195 to 280 million. That's domestic. I don't know what it's going to do worldwide. It's hard to predict international numbers. But Disney better cross its fingers. Better cross those fingers that it's going to do well. We'll see. Now, what's going to save this movie will be word of mouth. If the movie has good word of mouth, it will probably do a lot better. Two really good examples. Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man Quantumania. Now, I'm using Ant-Man for a reason. Ant-Man Quantumania had a good opening weekend. I remember that opening weekend because everyone's like, yeah, haters. Marvel's doing real good. And then, of course, it fell off a cliff. The next weekend just died. And it was pretty embarrassing for Marvel. But Guardians of the Galaxy 3 ended up making a lot of money. Had legs. That's what saved that movie. Legs from good word of mouth. That's the ultimate marketing now, is to actually have a good movie. Because if you do, people will talk it up and they'll keep going to see it. There was some movies last year that got really good word of mouth and had long legs at the box office. Moana 2, which I think is still in the theaters. Yeah, it is still in the theaters. And Inside Out 2. Inside Out 2 made a lot of money. A ton of money. I didn't hear any bad things about it. So, people talked it up and they kept going back to see it. Now, this movie is in a much better position than all those movies because it has no competition at all. So, let's take a look at this. If you want my opinion, I think this movie is probably going to do okay at the box office. I think international numbers are going to pick it up, and it doesn't have any competition. It has all of the premium seating to itself, all those IMAX tickets, all those D-Box tickets. So it's really got everything going for it. It's going to have to be a terrible movie to flop, and maybe it is. I mean, they've reshot the hell out of it. There were reports that it was getting reshot a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if those are true, but they were out there. So I don't know if this is going to be a good movie or not. I can't say if it will or won't. But it's got everything going for it. All the premium seats. There's nobody really in its way. It's going to have to really be a piece of shit to fail. And it very well may be a piece of shit. I'm not a big fan of Sam Cap. A lot of people, when they think of Captain America, it's not him. Okay, Steve Rogers has been Captain America since the 40s, when he was in Timely Comics, fighting in the World War. So it's an uphill climb in that aspect, but we'll see. Early box office predictions for Captain America Brave New World have arrived, and it is not looking good. Sean Robbins at Box Office Theory shared that he predicts Captain America Brave New World will only gross between 81 million and 107 million in its opening domestic box office. He ultimately settled on 96 million. Yeah, that's for sure. In fact, I think it has $120 million a 4-day weekend. I think it makes 120 million domestic. I really don't know why it wouldn't. It's like I said, there's just nobody standing in the movie's way. There's no real competition. I think they might have it in this article. What's coming out against it? Yeah, the Wolfman, Flight Risk, Companion, and this Peru movie. I don't know anything about any of these movies. Maybe Wolfman. Is that supposed to be a reboot of the of the Universal monster. What's going on with that? So, none of these movies are really, let's face it, they're not going to stand in the way. Yeah, Universal's Wolfman, so they're remaking that. That might be good. I don't know if, I'll have to watch a trailer on that. I love the old Universal monsters. So maybe I'll check that out if it looks good. If it might be a modern day Wolfman. So, yeah, there's not really anything in this movie's way. I think it makes 125 million its first weekend. That's just my prediction. I don't get paid like this guy at Box Office Theory to do this, but there's just nothing in the movie's way. But after that, this movie can either go uphill or fall down it. And that's all going to depend on how it's perceived. We shall see. None of these include international numbers, by the way. This movie could blow the doors off of the international market and be a massive hit. You never know. But his prediction of 240 million is pretty low. If that's all this movie brings in domestically, that's a really, really bad sign for them. Because Captain America is a flagship character for the MCU now. So, we'll see if the bet of getting rid of Steve Rogers was a good one or a bad one there, I guess. So, he writes that ultimately late-stage marketing reviews and early screening reception will be very important for Brave New World. The MCU has seen its share of up and downs in recent years with general sentiment, highlighting that the franchise just doesn't have at the moment what it used to do. And, will they be able to have casual moviegoers come back and watch each character's series of films in between the event-level stories? That's going to be really crucial for them. Not everything can be these giant Avengers movies. That's not how it works. You have to have everyone interested in the character solo movies for this to really work. So we'll see. And he notes, if this movie does get good word of mouth, it could do extremely well. You could see this become $1 billion movie because it doesn't really have any direct competition. It's all going to depend on word of mouth. That's where this movie will shine. Because like I said, Quantum Mania, that's why I use it as an example, and they have it right here. That had a really good opening weekend, made 106 million. And then it fell off a cliff. So we'll see what happens. We don't have to wait much longer to find out. I am very curious to how this movie performs. And because, in a lot of ways, there's a lot riding on this movie for Disney. And they've been trying really hard to push it. I think the trailers have actually been pretty good. I've liked the more recent trailers for this movie, but that doesn't mean anything. You're going to have to really sell this movie, and we'll see. Maybe it's already sold. I think it makes 125 million its opening weekend domestic. That's my prediction. I think it does well the opening weekend. Where it goes after that, we'll see. We'll see. That's going to depend on how it's received, and that's up in the air. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think about all of this. I'd like to hear from you. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed. Hit that notification bell, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.